A 27-year-old medical student walks into a crowded bar in downtown Columbus. Security cameras capture him clearly. Friends are nearby. Music is loud. It's the start of spring break. He is never seen leaving. No back door. No blind spot. No body. No suspect. No explanation. For nearly 2 decades, one question has haunted investigators and family alike. How does someone vanish inside a room full of people and cameras? This is the unsolved disappearance of Brian Shaffer. Welcome back. Tonight's case is one of the most baffling missing person mysteries ever recorded on surveillance footage. A story filled with strange details, emotional tragedy, and a puzzle that still has no solution. Stay with me, because every piece matters, and by the end, you'll understand why this case refuses to fade away. Brian Shaffer was 27 years old in the spring of 2006 and a second-year student at the Ohio State University College of Medicine. Friends described him as intelligent, witty, outgoing, and deeply compassionate, someone who could hold a conversation with anyone. He played guitar, loved music, and had a sarcastic sense of humor that people remembered long after meeting him. But early 2006 had been devastating for Brian. His mother had just died after a long battle with cancer. The loss hit him hard. Those close to him said he was grieving, distracted, emotionally exhausted. At the same time, he was trying to keep moving forward through school, through life, through the pain. He was especially close to his father, Randy. The two had planned a spring break trip to Miami together. It was something Brian was looking forward to, a chance to escape, said, and spend time with family. There were no signs Brian wanted to disappear, no financial trouble. No relationship breakdown, no criminal issues, no history of running away. He had a future he was actively building. On the night of March 31st, Brian went out with his friend William Clint Florence to celebrate the beginning of spring break. They visited several bars around the South Campus Gateway area near Ohio State's campus in Columbus. The night was typical. Drinks, laughter, casual conversations. Nothing unusual. No arguments, no tension. Around 1:15 a.m., they arrived at a popular college bar called Ugly Tuna Saloona. This is where the mystery begins to take shape. The bar was located on the second floor of a building and accessed by a long escalator. A surveillance camera was positioned to record everyone who went up and down. Investigators later confirmed this was the primary entrance and exit for customers. If someone went in, they were seen. If someone came out, they were seen. Brian is clearly visible on the footage going up the escalator and entering the bar. Inside, he's seen briefly talking with 2 women near the entrance. He looks relaxed, calm, completely normal. Then the camera continues to record. Dozens of people go up, dozens of people come down. But Brian Shaffer never comes back down that escalator. Around 2 a.m., the bar began closing. Clint left. Brian's other friend left. They assumed Brian had gone home on his own. This wasn't strange. Brian often stayed out later than others or left separately after nights out. No one panicked. The next morning, Brian didn't answer his phone. That's when concern started to grow. His father tried calling him about their upcoming trip, straight to voicemail. Friends called, no answer. Brian's car was still parked nearby. He hadn't gone home. He hadn't gone anywhere. That's when police were contacted. Investigators immediately seized the surveillance tapes from the bar. They expected to see Brian leaving in the crowd unnoticed. They didn't. They watched the footage for hours. Then days, then weeks. Every single person who entered that bar that night was accounted for leaving. Except Brian. Police studied the layout carefully. There was an emergency exit, but it was alarmed. If opened, it would have triggered a loud alert. No such alarm was reported. There was a construction zone nearby, thoroughly searched. No sign of him, no blood, no evidence of a fall. No witnesses reporting anything unusual. It was as if Brian had stepped into a gap in reality. 4 days after the disappearance, Brian's phone went straight to voicemail. Then, months later, something bizarre happened. His girlfriend called his phone and it rang 3 times. Just once. Then it went dead again. Cell tower data couldn't pinpoint a location. Investigators could not explain why the phone briefly reconnected to the network after being inactive for so long. This strange event only deepened the mystery. Theories that don't fit. Did he sneak out? Police insist the camera coverage makes this extremely unlikely. The escalator was the only public path. Everyone else was seen leaving. Did something happen inside the bar? No signs of a struggle. No reports of violence. No witnesses. Hundreds of people were inside that night, yet no one saw anything. Did he fall into the construction site? Investigators searched the area extensively. Nothing. Did he choose to disappear? This theory clashes with everything known about Brian. He left behind his car, wallet, education, family plans, and a trip he was excited for. He had no reason to start a new life. Clint Florence, Brian's friend, took a polygraph test and passed. However, after repeated questioning and growing public suspicion, he stopped cooperating with police. This fueled online theories, but investigators have never named him a suspect. Officially, he remains the last known friend to see Brian that night. A father's search. Brian's father, Randy Shaffer, refused to let the case go cold. He pushed police for answers, spoke to media, and followed every lead. He believed his son was still alive somewhere. In 2008, Randy died in a tragic accident during a storm. With his death, the strongest advocate for Brian's case was gone. Most disappearances have a final trail: a road, a forest, a highway, a body of water. Brian vanished indoors, on camera, surrounded by people. That fact alone is what makes this case so disturbing. It challenges logic. It makes investigators question what they might have missed. It leaves the public feeling unsettled. Because if someone can disappear like this in plain sight, then nowhere feels entirely safe. The disappearance of Brian Shaffer remains an open case with Columbus police. No arrests, no confirmed sightings, no remains, no explanation. The footage still exists, the escalator still exists. The questions still exist. Somewhere in those missing minutes is an answer no one has been able to find. And until that answer surfaces, Brian's story remains one of the most haunting unsolved mysteries ever captured on surveillance video. If this case stayed with you, share this video so more people learn Brian's name. Someone, somewhere, might still hold a crucial piece of information. Leave your thoughts and theories in the comments. I read them all. Subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most unsettling unsolved mysteries. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.